As a young teenage girl, campus lady, or young adult, do you have questions in your mind that are unanswered? Or do you feel like meeting or talking to someone that will be able to answer them? I have a good news for you. The Deeper Life Bible Church Women Ministry Jalingo has decided to bring up a special program for the girl child. The theme is The Polish Daughters. This program will be coming up on the 29th of November 2025. Time is 10 a.m. Venue, Deeper Life Bible Church, Mile 6 Bypass, Jalingo, Taraba State, featuring talk, symposium, interactive sessions like question and answers, character stories, variety, etc. Come expecting, go rejoicing. As a young teenage girl, young adult, or campus lady, do you have question in your mind that is unanswered? Or do you feel like meeting or talking to someone that will be able to answer them? I have good news for you. The Deeper Life Bible Church Jalingo Women Ministry has come up with a special program for the girl child titled The Polish Daughters. This program will be coming up on the 29th of November 2025. Time is 10 a.m. Venue is the Deeper Life Bible Church Campground, Mile 6 Bypass, Jalingo, Taraba State. Featuring talk, symposium, interactive sessions like question and answers, character stories, varieties, etc. Come expecting, go rejoicing. Be there. As a young teenage girl, young adult, or campus lady, do you have question in your mind that is unanswered? Or do you feel like meeting or talking to someone that will be able to answer them? I have good news for you. The Deeper Life Bible Church Jalingo Women Ministry has come up with a special program for the girl child titled The Polish Daughters. This program will be coming up on the 29th of November 2025. Time is 10 a.m. Venue is the Deeper Life Bible Church Campground, Mile 6 Bypass, Jalingo, Taraba State. Featuring talk, symposium, interactive sessions like question and answers, character stories, varieties, etc. Come expecting, go rejoicing. Be there. As a young teenage girl, campus lady, or young adult, do you have questions in your mind that are unanswered? Or do you feel like meeting or talking to someone that will be able to answer them? I have a good news for you. The Deeper Life Bible Church Women Ministry Jalingo has decided to bring up a special program for the girl child. The theme is The Polish Daughters. This program will be coming up on the 29th of November 2025. Time is 10 a.m. Venue, Deeper Life Bible Church, Mile 6 Bypass, Jalingo, Taraba State. Featuring talk, symposium, interactive sessions like question and answers, character stories, variety, etc. Come expecting, go rejoicing.
Africa, a land of growth, rhythm, and resilience.
Where every thread of the fabric tells a story.
Every beat of the drum echoes heritage.
And every voice carries the soul of generation.
We are Africa, bold, beautiful, and timeless. At Sun TV, we don't just tell African stories.
We celebrate it in every color, sound, and tradition.
From the past that shaped us
to the future we proudly define.
Sun TV, Africa, seen, heard, celebrated. Sun TV, Pulse of the Nation.
Hello viewers, good morning and welcome to today's edition of The Morning Show. The Morning Show is a program that we bring to you live from Sun TV every morning like this, where we looked at issues that are happening in our country and in our nation, Nigeria. It's actually a very trying moment for our country. A lot are happening. And one needs to begin to ask certain questions. What is actually happening? Who are these people that are responsible for the killings, for the adoption, and for so many, because it's appear as if the thing is ravaging the nation from the southwest to southeast to northeast, to northwest, and to even north central. It appears as if, as you open the pages of newspaper these days, all you hear is bad news, bad news, bad news. But nevertheless, we don't have any country we can call our own rather than Nigeria. So we must continue to move forward. We must continue to be determined and resilient. And we believe that one day we will get it right. One day we will get it. That's why we are always here this morning to analyze the situation and also to bring to you what is happening across the world and across the globe and in different parts of this country. That's why our ears are all out there to bring to your bedroom, to your living room, the happenings around the country. So welcome to Morning Show. I'm here this morning together with the Director of News of Sun TV, Mr. Ira Daniel Ukwe.
Good morning, sir, and good morning to you out there. It's a pleasure having you with us.
Okay, without so much ado, we're going to go straight to the papers of the day and begin to look at what are the things that are happening around the country this morning. And so that we can be able to analyze them, we can be able to give you details of some of the happenings today. Let's start from the Daily Times. The Daily Times newspaper is our first paper this morning. And the headline on the Daily Times is Kwara Church attack, General Ubah's killing, order may further destabilize Nigeria. That is according to the Christian Association of Nigeria.
Yes, I will want to look at this headline from the angle where when they look at it from the fact that insecurity has been destabilizing Nigeria, and not to put it on check, will definitely continue to wreak havoc on the unity of the nation. Because when people are not safe, there is a tendency for them to look for security where they feel they can have it. I think this is the reason why we have this Japa syndrome. People always want to replicate other part of the world where they feel their job security is of lives and properties to a very large extent short. I may not be able to agree with Khan completely on this if the picture is portrayed as if only Christians that have been persecuted. That has always been the point at the beginning. Khan, as a religious organization, a faith-based organization, was to be on the lookout for the interest of its members. But when you do it, without taking into cognizance the fact that it is causing a glaring disharmony, a glaring indicators that is pointing towards religion, sentiments like that does not go down well for developed nations. Developing nations like Nigeria should not be thinking of issues like this. Though there is a need for everyone to be on deck, there is a need for us to come and sit on the table and discuss how these insecurities will be tackled. By the time we begin to talk about it from the angle of sentiment like that, aligning to the side where we come from at the detriment of other considerations, it is not going to go down well for us as a nation. That is what I think. And I think it's not reasonable for us as a nation to begin to whip up these sentiments and begin to weaponize them and begin to use them for political reasons. Everything is politics. Everything is politics. Some of these statements may not be political per se, but they have these political undertones that drive the political aspirations of people in Nigeria.
You know, one of my concerns is sometimes I ask myself that are some of these things engineered by some people? You know, if you look at that Kwara Church attack, from the visuals that right now is also playing on the program, you know, it appeared that you see old women, you know, how they were struggling. We learned that the pastor of the church was adopted. We learned that some were killed, you know, and from all you can see, it appeared that this thing happened on a broad daylight, you know. And I noticed that eventually the hoodlums began to carry all their bags, you know, from the church, you know. So I wonder what really is their mission? Who are they? Because some of them are masked. They may be people within the community or not far from the community that can be identified. So another thing is, why now? Why now? I don't know, the secretary to the government of the Federation, talking about George Akume, brought out a sentiment and said the statement by Donald Trump empowered the terrorists to begin to attack. Did you agree with?
I agree with George Akume completely, because we already live in a polarized nation. That the statement made by Donald Trump has further concretized the sentiment.
So, but me, I completely disagree. How could you say we have always been with these issues?
You see, when you have an issue and these people are actually criminals, they don't have any affiliation to religion. When they use religion, it's another method. Just like we say rape, looting, and other things are weapons of war. But they use religion is their weapon. They want to do divide and rule. It's not as if that all the things they do is not in agreement with the tenets of all the religions we practice. Now, when Donald Trump comes up to say, this is happening, narrative. Christians have been killed, and he didn't mention whether Christians and Muslims have been killed. You know, that goes a long way to give those people credence. It's helping their trade. It's helping their business. Because whatever community that has been united before now is if the almighty United States president is beginning to assert that Muslims Christians should be careful because Muslims are killing them, then, and to a large extent, he has the kind of impact when he says things people may tend to believe him. Now, whether they bring out facts, just like it has been, there are facts, there are statements, there are videos, there are other factual evidences that they brought out. Now, to the extent where those things are true, same thing that is happening in Muslim communities too. Now, this has helped the evil threat in the sense that it is the business of this criminal.
You see, for me, I and this is what I said, we're only just trying to shift blame. Because as we continue to do this, we can never find solution to our problem. So rather than the federal government take responsibility of the fact that even if we say completely the concept of Christian genocide is not completely correct per se, even if we agree with that, but we all agree that there are killings. Whether it is Christian that is being killed, whether it is Muslim that is being killed, whether it is pagan that is being killed, we all in this country has a common ground of what we agree on, which is the killing. And as long as the killing stopped, be it the killings of Christians, be it the killing of Muslims, be it the killings of pagan, if the killing stopped, it means definitely that some of these things have stopped. Another disturbing story about that headline is the death of General Uba's killing, because this, for me, is a military general. And what I am particularly looking at is the fact that if a whole general can be killed, what happens to an army corporal? What happened to a army sergeant? What happened to the lower ranks in the army? Because I expect that a general will have so many army with him. So I think beyond the fact that there is killing, there is also systematic problem. I read today that is there about 6 or thereabout armies were either dismissed or court-martial, for disobeying standing rule or standing order and stuff like that. So we all have a common ground. And what is that common ground? Is the fact that there is a killing. So whatever the federal government and Nigeria need to do to ensure that this killing stops, I think that is what we should be able to focus on.
Yes, government should focus on that. But I think the statements coming from the United States, because it was after President Trump made that statement that we could see many following suit to corroborate whatever it is he has said. I still want to maintain that that statement has not augured well for the fight against insurgency. If the federal government is not doing well, is not doing enough in the fight against insurgency, the statement of Donald Trump has helped that fact that the federal government is not fighting enough, because that statement has not helped the fight against insurgency.
Has worsened it.
It has worsened. That is what I agree.
But me, I see it as a call to action.
Yes, if it
It's a call to action.
Well, let's see. If it is a call to action, then I think it should not be made like that. When you come up and you begin to say statements, you make statement that is going to cause serious, going to fan the embers of discord and disharmony. Because those statements, fanning the embers of you're trying to say Christians and Muslims are not, though we have little parameters, little actions and activities that will indicate to you that we are not actually united in the process. But Donald Trump's statement help in building the unity that we all need as a nation.
Okay, let's look at another headline on that Daily Times, which is the visit of the Vice President, Shettima. KB school girls adoption. Tinubu deeply troubled, vows federal government will ensure culprits face justice. That is according to Shettima. We've been having all these promises.
Yes. He arrived yesterday in Kebbi. The things that we normally expect to happen when a vice president visits happen. Utterances were made, speeches and addresses were made, all those things. The list of the abducted girls, I don't know. It is too early for us to see whether that visit is going to help in any way. We have seen situations where the president himself was in Benue after the massacre that happened in Yelwata. And after it, we've not heard of people being sentenced. We've not heard of people who there are other people that have been charged to court and the case has been there. I look forward to those cases being expedited in such a way that conviction shall have been secured now. And if at all the main culprits were the people that were arrested. Now the vice president is in Kebbi. Lots of funds have been expended in that tour alone. The convoy that followed him to the contingent, Tintorage that followed him to Kebbi, the accommodation, their feeding, and other logistics is going to cost the government precious amounts of money. Now, I think it is still early for us now to begin to say whether that visit will pay off or will not pay off. But let's wait and see. But what is it called? Previously, such endeavors have not yielded any good result, any positive
Okay,
result.
maybe let's hear the vice president, some of the things he said at that visit.
I need to assure you that this is not a moment for politics. This grip transcends party lines, geography, and identity. This is a time for unity, for compassion, and for firm resolve in the face of evil. This government will not relent. We'll use every instrument of the state to bring these girls home and to ensure that the perpetrators of this wickedness pay the full weight of justice.
Governor Idris appreciates President Bola Tinubu for his support, noting that the state government is complementing federal efforts by providing an enabling environment.
Okay, that is the vice president trying to make a case and support, what effort the federal government is doing. So we believe and we are trusting God that these things will come to an end and these girls will be back, because what everybody is talking about is how these girls will come back home. Now let's go to Daily Trust. Daily Trust is our next paper for this morning. Bandit adopt 30 in Kwara church attack. Kebbi released name of kidnapped girls. I think you mentioned about the release of their name. Now, one of my problems is this, what I call institutional attack. These attacks seems to be targeting institutions. You see, in this case now, church, 30 people. In the other case, 25 people, girls. What is the relationship between this attack and institutions? Because the concept of institutions is another issue.
Yes. What do they actually want? ISWAP is out. Well, I don't know whether the attack in Kwara is actually carried out by ISWAP. But whether it is ISWAP, whether it is Boko Haram, whether it is bandits, whether they are all killers, they are all terrorists.
Another major problem is how to categorize the issue. Are they bandits? In some places we have ISWAP. Is it Lakurawa? In the northwest we have the issue of Lakurawa. We have the issue of Fulani headsmen, and all that.
I don't think that is why I said we don't need to do all this category. So it is good for the experts who are out to fight these people. But when we generalize them and look at them as killers who have come to destroy lives and properties of people, it may help. We don't need to see whether they are Lapra or because so long as you come with a gun and you kill people, whether it is a church or you adopt.
Yeah, I agree with you that they are criminals. Yeah. But you know, in one way or the other, you must, if somebody is a criminal, you should be able to identify what type of criminal he is. Because these criminals also have different agendas and mission. For instance, Boko Haram, one of their major targets is against Western education. Because their mission also determine the targets. Because if you look at over the years, Boko Haram have targets schools, most especially. So, like this target of KB school now, would we say they are Boko Haram? Would we say they are bandits?
Now, look at the narrative of KB. Then we'll go to Kwara. The video that is making the round of the wife of the deceased, who was speaking in Hausa, stated that at the point they asked for money, they give us money. Now, is that one of the core beliefs of the Boko Haram or the Islam? So I want to look at these people as just these people when they are being kidnapped, the girls that are being kidnapped, you will discover that as time goes on, they may come looking for ransom. If they don't look for ransom, they are using them for sex slaves and other things like that, that help in creating a conducive environment for them in their business, their evil business. They're just merchants of debt. They go about wreaking havoc for their own personal selfish interests. They do drugs. They're involved in all sorts of criminality. Now,
another matter is this issue of ransom that you have mentioned. Because one of the things that I feel that is also adding to this issue is this issue of ransom. Because you see, when these people are given money, they now see it like a business. Because you go, if you are to go to a business now and begin to trade, you know how much effort it will take you for you to be able to make 1 million naira. Of course. But if in this kind of business now, in this thing, you see them talking about 500 million, 50 million, 100 million, you know. So I think the concept of payment of ransom also has also energized these people to begin to see it as a lucrative business, because they will even tell you that what they need is cash. We've had situations where people demand for some of these things even in dollars.
of course, these people hardly will they visit any community and they don't loot. After this attack, you will see the signature of one of their main intentions is to take away valuables.
In fact, sometimes when they adopt people, we learn that they used to even ask for some food items. They say so cartons of Indomie, so cartons of rice, spaghetti, and some drugs, wee. I know things like that.
So that is what I'm saying. These criminals are just there to do this evil for the benefits that they get from it. That is why I agree with the concept that agitates that these things are counterproductive. When you keep giving them money, when you negotiate with them, it's counterproductive. Now that drives home the point I was trying to make yesterday, still on this platform. If the presidents of the United States and other developed nations who have advanced technologies in fighting criminalities like this will only come and help us with logistics, with equipment, men, in synergy, I think it serves us better than for you to begin to make statements that is will keep creating.
I saw an interesting headline on that Daily Trust. Iswan leader back 20 years jail term. That is according to a federal high court. We heard that a federal high court sitting in Abuja has sentenced an Iswan leader to 20 years jail term.
as much as I believe that 20 years is not sufficient in my own, but I think that is the law. That is what the law said, as interpreted by the judge. I think, so long as it is the law, it's fine. But I think if the fact that the person is a member of ISWAP, life sentence or maybe just death sentence.
That's what I also feel.
So why should you be giving him 20 years? 20 years.
Because then if everything confirmed that he's an ISWAP member, already he has become a member of a terrorist organization.
Just first the firing squads. That is what I think.
And at worst, a life imprisonment, because what it means is that this person will be in prison, and after 20 years he will come out and will continue to perpetrate his evil.
Because of the structural capacitation that we have in Nigerian prisons, I don't even expect that hardened criminals like this should be, if he is confirmed terrorist, if at all it is confirmed that he is a member of ISWAP, whether he is the chef, whether he is the one cooking food for them, whether he does not work.
They will say he's a leader.
He should be sentenced to firing squad straight. That is
because part of so what of the issue of repentance? Because these are another issue that a lot of people feel has helped or has made these things to worst. Because we looked at it that okay, repented Boko Haram, integration of repented Boko Haram to the society. Some of them were even integrated into the Nigerian army. I heard somebody, was it Gumi, that was saying they can even become the president of Nigeria.
Well, I disagree with Gumi. Well, everybody has the chance to be given a second. One of the fundamental human rights. But in the face of criminalities like this, in the face of the situation of war that we're facing in this country, we can't afford to begin to handle these things with the kind of courtesy that we're handling them now. We need a drastic action.
Because there is the aspect of radicalization in some of these things. Some of these people, no matter how
repentant they pretend they are, they are not actually repentant.
They have become radicalized
because the repentance,
it's an ideology.
Of course. The repentance that they portray is another weapon of coming back into the society and begin to subtly begin to infiltrate the camps of the military and other societies that have been peaceful. Because most of these attacks that is just like we're speculating on the issue of Palestine. These people will not just descend from the sky like that. They must have known the routes, they know how to escape, they know the community very well, and they must have done their reconnaissance very well and their own investigations properly, such a way that by the time they come and attack, they know how to go about it. So it is members of the society that we accept to be our friends, to be our relations, to be the people we relate with, without thinking, having a second thought concerning them that end up causing this problem.
Okay, let's go on to some other headlines on today's paper, and let's look at The Guardian. The Guardian newspaper is our next stop. Outrage over rising adoption, attack as military rallies 24,000 recruits. One of the things that a lot of people are saying is that our security are well. We are talking about recruiting about 24,000 new army. What's your thought about this?
Yes, we should recruit even more than that, because the truth is military and the architecture is stretched, especially the military. Stretch, crisis all over, and it is this sense of the fact that their presence is not seen or felt that criminality is being perpetrated. Hardly will you see, though we've seen attacks being carried to military barracks, but if that military barracks has the manpower sufficient enough to withstand these criminals, hardly will they be able to make any impact. So we can't afford to allow them win. They're recruiting in mass. They're using all sorts of methods to recruit. So army should keep recruiting people that can be able to be patriotic enough. Another aspect of it is that when you're doing this recruitment, there is a need for you to be careful. There is a need for government and its agencies to be careful so that they don't recruit people that will come and begin to destroy army and other security agencies from the inside.
Another issue, if you see the Guardian present a picture. There was a visit that was led by the National Security Advisor to the U.S. to present our case. I think on that entourage, we have the National Security Advisor, we have the Chief of Army Staff, we have the Inspector General of Police, we have the Director of National Intelligence, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. That is
Odumegu.
Odumegu is what?
The State Minister for Foreign Affairs.
Yeah, both the substantial minister was there, the State Minister was there. What effect do you think this kind of visits of this entourage to the US will make the issue of this narrative of the United States of America?
It's going to go a long way because some of us believe that as intelligent as Donald Trump is and as enlightened as they are, they may not have the full grasp of the narratives going on in this country. This delegation will go a long way to explain to Donald Trump and his officials that what we actually need as a nation is not such criticisms, it's not such statements. It's your support, equipment, and in intelligence gathering that we need to fight against this.
But some people are also thinking about looking at the diverse nature of our country. Maybe this concept of Muslim ticket also contributes to the mindset of the United States.
It's possible that could have been the narrative, but the truth is, if what you've just said now is political in the sense that it does not have a direct bearing on when we had Christian Muslim, when Jonathan was a Christian president, then vice president. Killings were still going on.
Adoption was happening.
It was still happening. So I don't think this has a bearing. But there is a way we politicize narratives in such a way that it favors. I don't think that is the core issue. The fundamental thing is criminals are criminals. What are the causative factors of people metamorphosing into the state of this criminality? Poverty, lack of education, and other things like that. All these things. But for now, I think what we need is superior firearms, strength, in such a way that when we crush them completely, then we begin to go back to the drawing board and see how go about this.
Okay, if you look at on top of that guidance, the issue of that I just mentioned, that the Secretary to the Government of Federation is also there. Alleged Christian genocide. Federal government accused U.S. of inciting violence.
Wow, I don't know the parameters for such accusations.
The parameter was the fact that because of what the U.S. president has said, it has emboldened these people, and that is why the attack is becoming so much.
Well, I don't have the details of that, but I have always maintained that the statement as issued by Donald Trump has not helped the situation, it has worsened it. Worsened it in the sense that these people believe in divide and rule when Christians and Muslims are united in the same fronts, and there is no any crack on the wall where they can penetrate. I don't think they'll have a field day. Now that this statement has been made, the Christians that used to trust Muslims may not trust them again.
But we see it as a call to action.
If it is call to action, this has not helped, because call to action should not come in such a way that you're saying it's. If you had mentioned that Nigerians have been killed, and it is on the strength of that he wants to, fine. But you decide to set up a particular segment of the society against another. I think that is not well for peace building and sustainable development.
Okay, there are some other headline on that paper. One is what El-Rufai said. If you look at down the Guardian of today, 230 million Nigerians to unseat Tinubu, defeating governors, El-Rufai said.
Let's hear us play that. Clearly, he's prophesying, he's predicting that 230 million Nigerians will vote Tinubu out and hire somebody else, maybe from his coalition. Let's see how it goes. 2027 is around the corner. We'll see how it goes. But what we're seeing now, presently, is that if elections is conducted today, Tinubu will still win. We don't know whether it's going to change as time goes on.
So how do you know that if election is conducted today, Tinubu?
In most instances, people vote according to party lines. That is one. And
but don't you think some of these things that are happening, the killings, this in Nigeria, are losing trust?
It's possible, but
or we're being deceived by the governors that are moving, because the governors may not represent the interests of the masses.
The President Tinubu may not be the perfect president that we want. He may not be. We are not there yet as a nation, but at least we're moving somewhere. We've left the place that we used to be to another place.
But you know, a lot of people will not agree with you. Some will believe that we are worsening up.
We have not actually worsened up if we have things like subsidy removal, if we have things that...
you know, some of these things are constant. Because the thing is that another person will feel that we are better off when the subsidy was there than even when, because to other people, all this issue of subsidy removal only benefits, maybe makes more money available to government to spend, you know, and we are paying more for it. Well, because if you look at how much is fuel before removal of subsidy and how much is fuel today.
Well, as a public affairs commentator, I'm known by experience and research that if we had maintained that concept of not removing subsidy, it will have led us to somewhere in the long run where we have a non subsidy. Not that immediately the subsidy is removed, we'll start seeing the benefit of subsidy removal immediately. But if we sustain this tempo and see how, I think what we need to fight now is corruption and leakages. We've done the first step. The second step is ensuring that corruption and leakages from the corners of the government. Then I think we're going somewhere. To maintain this tempo, it is promising to make Nigeria greater than when we used to give subsidy in everything and making the nation lose its own resources by itself.
Okay, we're still on Morning Show. We will go into some other papers, and because we still have a lot of issues in several dailies of today. Okay, let's look at Tribune, that is Nigerian Tribune. NLC, JNI, CAN, others call for decisive action as federal government say Nigerian security put on highest alert. Soldiers take over Kwara community. Youth block a Loring Kaba highway. Shetima in Kebbi say adoption of school will face the law. Kebbi LGA chairman released name of adopted schoolgirls. Refuse claim that they are Christian. Take decisive action to return students. That is according to JNI. Confront the evil before it consumes us. That is NLC telling the federal government. Attack on Nigeria, a destabilization plot. That is according to the Northern CAN. President Apod G20 AU-EU meeting awaits security briefing. That is some of the headline on this paper. On the top of the Tribune is about Awolowo Foundation hosts national dialogue on women in politics 30 years after the Beijing conference. And if you look at Roberto Egbetokun Fagbemi, lead 10-man federal government delegation to U.S. meet Congressman. Also, one of the things we have said is a very high-level delegation that is currently in the United States of America, and that delegation is led by the National Security Advisor. Police seal up PDP Wadata Plaza, block access point. Obi blame crisis in PDP, Labour Party, SDP on APC-led government. Call on Trump to save Nigerian democracy. The national security, a call on Trump to save Nigerian democracy, a national security threat. That is according to Wiki. What will you say about this blocking?
Sorry? The blocking of...
Yes, yesterday we saw the police brought barbed wires. I don't know how you saw the
PDP.
Yes, they brought barbed wires.
Okay.
The national security, national PDP office, and barricades the whole area. If you go towards that Michael Obara way, off where the PDP secretariat is, even the access road that leads to the street where the PDP secretariat is, from what we gathered, it has been blocked completely and over.
Yes, what we saw maybe some few days ago, where two sitting governors come out with their full security entourage, policemen in the entourage of the governors, and policemen as being sent by FCT Police Command. Something that will call for this.
So, but when police, this is a political party, and for that matter, a political party that have ruled Nigeria for many years. Don't you see it as if the ruling government is using that to oppress the party? Why didn't they look for a court order?
Is it an oppression? Will you describe it as oppression, or the fact that these people have called this upon themselves? Now, as honorable as the office and the person of the governor were among dissenting.
But they felt that it is their right.
Now, we saw on video where people, policemen standing behind some of these top politicians, hitting people, and not as if it was a chaotic situation. And I think the best way to solve that problem, condone order. They can meet. It's not as if they've said you cannot meet again. They have other state party offices. They must not meet in Abuja. They can meet in Bauchi. They can meet.
Or even if they meet in Abuja, they should meet in another
somewhere else.
Yesterday we saw the wicked faction.
Yes.
Having a meeting.
So you see, if this
but will that give the meeting some level of legitimacy because they are not meeting at the party office?
Yes. I think since the problem is the party office, that is where they call it something that will give it. I think legitimacy will be the interpretation of it. At the end of the day, it is the court that will determine whether it is weakest faction that is legitimate or it is Turaki's faction. But for now, since it is causing disharmony, the two of them will go meet in the same Wadata Plaza and fight and injure people. There is no need for them to go to that place again. That place should be cordoned off. If the government is going up to the extent of saying PDP should not meet again at all, that is when I think there's a problem. But you can meet somewhere else so that there will be peace and decorum in the meeting.
Okay, let's go to this day. This day newspaper is our next paper for today, and at NISO stakeholders need federal government vow estimated bill to end in 3 years. Estimated bill to end in 3 years. How possible is that? That means everybody will have meter.
Let's see how it goes. That is what they think. Well, so far they've not been able to achieve that. So if they're making this as a proposal, let's see how it's going to go. But I doubt if
The reality.
it's going to be.
Okay, there are other headlines on that. Olowora 26 trillion pension asset fuel national development. And we have the issue. U.S. Congressman confirmed meeting federal government delegation over alleged Christian genocide. We stand by our position, that is according to Khan. And SGF U.S. genocide claim encourages extension group. That's part of what we have been saying over today. Federal government are insisting that this narrative is encouraging these terrorist extremist groups, the extremist groups. Federal government plan place nation security on red alert. What's the implication of that?
Yes, this is not the first time that red alerts have been placed. What they should do now, as they're placing the nation's security on red alert, doing what they just did by going to the U.S., sending a delegation to the U.S., I think we should canvass for support from the international community. Prove that this war is almost overwhelming us as a nation. As architecture actually overwhelmed. If we admit that security architecture in Nigeria is overwhelmed, then it calls for support from the. Let's maintain the tempo of trying to explain to international communities who have the strength come and help fight against this insurgency. Else, as time goes on, we may lose this war.
We saw the president cancelling his trip to South Africa.
So that is not enough. I think it's not the first time that trips have been cancelled. We've seen it in this country. Former President Jonathan, they have done that before. What is aftermath such? It has not yielded any result. Even, well, it may yield in technical terms and other details that we may not see as a common man on the street. But we want to see that this war with insurgent criminals stops. At least, let's have 6 months where there is no report of any attack by bandits, by insurgent, by Iswa, by Bukwara, by Lakurawa, by Fulani, you understand? At least for 6 months, then we'll move from there to 1 year, then for 2 years, then forever. You understand? So somebody is of the opinion that this is a global trend. What is happening in Nigeria is not isolated. It happens in Central Africa, East Africa, other parts of the world. Even the US is not safe from some of these attacks. But the intensity at which it is occurring in Nigeria, the frequency at which it is happening in Nigeria, what is giving us.
Okay, let's look at the next paper. And I think even though this has more of the birthday wishes to the former president, good luck, Ebele Jonathan, that is at 68. But it also has the headline on the Kwara KB adoption. Federal government blame U.S. as kidnap outrage spread. But don't you think even this continue trying to blame the U.S. will make the U.S. also to be angry or to take more action?
Well, the blame is not using choice of words that will anger them. We're just trying to call them to order, try to explain to them that we know.
Somebody say your house is on fire, and you now say it is only the kitchen that was on fire, and because my house, you say my house is in order, is making other people to other rooms in the house also to catch fire.
Well, if he said you are the one that set your house on fire, I accusing you of the one that is setting your house on fire. You have the right to explain to him, no, my house is on fire. It's true. It is
Is it not for you to face your house and say how to quench the fire?
If you have the wherewithal to face the house and quench the fire, will the fire still be there?
And that's why we are raising alarm. They are raising alarm and say, okay, so how do we help you?
That is not what he said. Donald Trump said this nation is God-forsaken, and he, to a very large extent, said the fire should be increased, because the fact that he said Christians are the only ones being killed, and a country where there are Muslims and Christians,
and only one, but claim that there is
Christian genocide.
Christian genocide.
Now, what does that represent? Sentimental? Don't you think it is biased? Leaning towards a particular composition of the nation that is not auguring well for the nation of Nigeria? We live in a polarized nation. We can't afford to whip up this sentiment in the face of the crisis that we're facing.
Okay, let's go to, our time is fast spent. We'll go to the last two papers so that we can go to this second segment of the morning show this morning. And the last paper is The Matrix. And The Matrix has quite a number of headlines on The Matrix. Insecurity and depressed, said Tinubu. Said those endangering Nigeria will face full state action. And while President postponed trip to G20, that is according to presidency, Tinubu ordered military police to deploy more men to Kwara. That is also on the front page of The Matrix. If you look at on top of The Matrix, federal government to provide policy support, incentive to automotive sector. Are you sure it's not automobile sector? Which one is automotive sector?
Yes, I think all these are companies manufacturing vehicles.
Okay. That should be automobile. Okay, no problem. We can reject Turaki call for U.S. intervention, say Nigerian democracy stable. We saw Turaki calling on the U.S. In one of the videos where he said the U.S. should come.
I disagree with Turaki. This is the truth.
He said democracy is a weekend address and said, maybe let's listen to the FCT Minister, Wike, version. I think yesterday we saw the video of Turaki. But Turaki felt he had been oppressed as an opposition. Maybe APC is trying to practice one state thing.
When there is a...
Yes, can we have that?
Are you willing to work for the development of your region? Are you willing to make sure that the vision and mission of Mr. President have been achieved? Some of us believe that having given me an appointment is an opportunity for me to tell my people I have arrived. Some of us are more committed to do that work. So, you ask yourself, of everybody, the population in the South, how do I merit this appointment? Therefore, the only way you can justify and to make Mr. President happy is that you work tirelessly to achieve the renewed hope agenda in your own region. Mr. Chairman has said there will be no problem. It's a lie, there will be problem. In your board, there will be problem. Because most of us don't like to stand by the truth. Most of us want to play to the gallery. Most of us want to be used as tools to bring division. The problem we have in this country today, or we're having, is leadership.
So, because if you feel oppressed, where do you cry out when you feel that maybe the judiciary cannot help you? Where do you cry to?
I don't think what...
Because this same set of people did the same when they were looking for the position. They traveled to the US. Met, then it was Barack Obama that was the president. Met the Secretary of State at that time.
And to make a call that they should come and salvage democracy in Nigeria?
Yes.
Well, I don't know the paradigms for that, but let me talk about the one that I know now. In the sense that when you make such statements, it is insinuating that they don't believe in the Nigerian judiciary system. The same thing that he's saying, if you don't believe in the Nigerian judiciary system, how come that they have been going to the courts in other issues? That call, I think, was a call for, it was just environmental, it was some reflex. I don't think he thought it over properly before making such political statements that should not be taken seriously.
Okay, before we go, lastly, NJI debunks claim judges sang pro Tinubu song at 2025 conference. There was the issue. I think one of the papers also took that issue where Atiku, that is Daily Times said judges singing Tinubu praise assault on national dignity. That is according to Tinubu. I'm yet to see those visuals, yes, yeah. But there was claim that Tinubu went for a judges conference where he spoke. There was this claim that judges sang
on mandate
wishes.
But I think that is completely out of place. If they actually did that, we don't know the rationale behind that thing, but I don't think it's reasonable for them to start singing Tinubu's mandate. Or is it that they are singing that on the mandate of the presidency, not in the person of Tinubu? Maybe it's not the person.
But no matter how you look at it, it's a political song. We were not sure. Maybe Atiku claimed. Maybe our studio will try to help us see if such video exists where the judges sang. So Atiku condemned it. NJC debunked claim. So maybe it's not between whether it was true or it was not true, or they wanted to sing it and later realized because no matter what you looked at it, if it's true, because we are still within whether it is true, whether between what Atiku said and what the NJI said, that is the National Judicial Institute said. So, but if it is true, I think it's uncalled for. But if it is not true, who is trying to cause the confusion and claiming that that song was sung? Okay, this is where we'll end this first segment of our morning show this morning. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, morning show will continue. Please don't go away.
As a young teenage girl, campus lady, or young adult, do you have questions in your mind that are unanswered? Or do you feel like meeting or talking to someone that will be able to answer them? I have a good news for you. The Deeper Life Bible Church Women Ministry Jalingo has decided to bring up a special program for the girl child. The theme is The Polish Daughters. This program will be coming up on the 29th of November 2025. Time is 10 a.m. Venue, Deeper Life Bible Church, Mile 6 Bypass, Jalingo, Taraba State, featuring talk, symposium, interactive sessions like question and answers, character stories, variety, etc. Come expecting, go rejoicing. As a young teenage girl, young adult, or campus lady, do you have question in your mind that is unanswered, or do you feel like meeting or talking to someone that will be able to answer them? I have good news for you. The Deeper Life Bible Church Jalingo Women Ministry has come up with a special program for the girl child titled The Polish Daughters. This program will be coming up on the 29th of November 2025. Time is 10 a.m. Venue is the Deeper Life Bible Church Campground, Mile 6 Bypass, Jalingo, Taraba State. Featuring talk, symposium, interactive sessions like question and answers, character stories, varieties, etc. Come expecting, go rejoicing. Be there. As a young teenage girl, campus lady, or young adult, do you have questions in your mind that are unanswered, or do you feel like meeting or talking to someone that will be able to answer them? I have a good news for you. The Deeper Life Bible Church Women Ministry Jalingo has decided to bring up a special program for the girl child. The theme is The Polish Daughters. This program will be coming up on the 29th of November 2025. Time is 10 a.m. Venue, Deeper Life Bible Church, Mile 6 Bypass, Jalingo, Taraba State, featuring talk, symposium, interactive sessions like question and answers, character stories, variety, etc. Come expecting, go rejoicing. As a young teenage girl, young adult, or campus lady, do you have question in your mind that is unanswered, or do you feel like meeting or talking to someone that will be able to answer them? I have good news for you. The Deeper Life Bible Church Jalingo Women Ministry has come up with a special program for the girl child titled The Polish Daughters. This program will be coming up on the 29th of November 2025. Time is 10 a.m. Venue is the Deeper Life Bible Church Campground, Mile 6 Bypass, Jalingo, Taraba State. Featuring talk, symposium, interactive sessions like question and answers, character stories, varieties, etc. Come expecting, go rejoicing. Be there. As a young teenage girl, campus lady, or young adult, do you have questions in your mind that are unanswered, or do you feel like meeting or talking to someone that will be able to answer them? I have a good news for you. The Deeper Life Bible Church Women Ministry Jalingo has decided to bring up a special program for the girl child. The theme is The Polish Daughters. This program will be coming up on the 29th of November 2025. Time is 10 a.m. Venue, Deeper Life Bible Church, Mile 6 Bypass, Jalingo, Taraba State, featuring talk, symposium, interactive sessions like question and answers, character stories, variety, etc. Come expecting, go rejoicing.
welcome to the final segment of Taraba News this morning. This segment, particularly, we looked at headline of Taraba newspaper, where we analyze things that happen in Taraba and its environment. And that's the segment we are into right now. Okay, let's look at the major headline on today's Taraba News. Governor Kefas presents 650 billion budget for 2026 fiscal year. In that budget, 70.36 capital, 26.64 as recurrent expenditure, and roads, education, power, security takes priority. Capital expenditure is estimated to be 457.75 billion, which represent 70.6% of the budget, while recurrent expenditure is 192.85 billion, which represent 29.64%. According to the presentation, there are some sectors that are going to be priority. That is the proposed budget priorities. One is road. Road is going to take 19.84% of the budget. Then education and skill development is going to take 15.98% of the budget. Then the education and skill development, 15.98%. Healthcare is expected to take 6.15%. Then agriculture and food security is expected to take 4.83%. Water and sanitation supposed to take 3.19%. Security and emergency services, 2.95%. Maybe before I call you, let's listen to our correspondent, Lilian Yakubu, was at that budget presentation, and she filed in a report from the budget presentation. Let's take that correspondent report on the presentation of budget yesterday before we maybe looked at the details of the budget.
To undergo significant transformation through a planned revolution in infrastructural development to be carried out in 2026 under the leadership of Governor Agbu Kefas. Presenting the appropriation bill on the floor of the State House of Assembly, Governor Kefas explained that the 2026 budget comprises a capital expenditure of over 457 billion naira, representing 70.36%, while recurrent expenditure stands at 192 billion naira, representing 29.64%.
I hereby present the 2026 appropriation bill of 650 billion 631 million 700,000 naira for your kind consideration and passage. Let me add that 2023 was vision. 2024 laid the foundation. 2025 was expansion. And 2026 is demonstration, that is development that we can see.
He reaffirmed the critical role of young people in the development of Taraba State, noting that the youth inclusion remains a central pillar of his administration's agenda. According to him, youth engagement is essential to unlocking their potentials for peace, progress, and sustainable development.
Let me reaffirm that Taraba youth are our greatest strength. Therefore, in 2026, youth will not be observers. They will be builders of roads, schools, drivers of agriculture under our program of Taraba Initiative for Farmland and Food Occupation, TIFO, digital innovations, renewable energy technicians, sport entrepreneurs, leaders with strong values, because A productive, morally grounded youth population is the true measure of a stable and prosperous society.
He added that the budget is strategically designed to drive infrastructural development across the state, with priority given to key sectors such as roads and transportation, education, and health.
Our sectoral priorities for 2026 will be 1. Road and transport, 19.84%. Education and skill development, 15.98%. Healthcare, 6.19%. Agriculture and food security, 4.83%. Water and sanitation, 3.19%. Security, emergency and protection, 2.96%.
In his remarks, the Speaker of the Taraba State House of Assembly, Right Honorable John Kizito Bonzena, commended the governor for effectively discharging his duties. He noted that the assembly currently operates under a single political party, with all members belonging to the APC. A development, he said, will strengthen unity and fast-track development across the state.
The 10th Assembly of the Taraba State to a single party. Before this time, we had PDP, APC, and NNPP. But as of 17th November 2025, we have all the 24 members now APC.
Providing further clarification on the budget, the State Commissioner for Information and Reorientation, Zainab Usman Jalingo, said the state is set for a new look and assured residents of significant transformation.
Capital expenditure taking 70.36% of the total budget has in figure 741,601,414 naira. Roads and transport will take 19.84% of the total allocation of the budget. It will go for roads and transport. Education, which is the pet project of His Excellency, and skill development will take 15.98%.
The 2026 budget of development has raised high expectations among residents who are eager to witness the promised transformation across Taraba State. Lilian Yakubu reporting for Some TV.
Okay, 650 billion.
Yes. Good outfit there for Taraba State. We look forward to more development coming across the state. We mentioned how this budget of for by the time the State House of Assembly passed this, expecting to see more development, roads construction across the state. We've seen roads commencing in roads in Mararaba Baisa roads, in Takum Usa roads. We expect that in 2026 we will see the completion of this road, which is going to go well for the overall development of.
Yeah, for me, it's a good budget. Maybe they could still display the budget for our viewers because Taraba News tried to do a proper analysis of the budget. If you see that display where Taraba News tried to put the budget properly, you will notice that 70.35% was for capital. which is huge, meaning that 7 out of 10 of every spending is going to be for capital.
Including roads. Capital is.
Yes, if you look at the sectoral, these are all the road is going to take 19.84%, which is taking the highest, and education and skill development will follow, which will take about 15.98%, which are roughly 16%. Healthcare will take about 6.1%, agriculture 4.8%, and water and sanitation 3.9%, and security and emergency 2.96%. For me, fantastic budget, wonderful budget. My major problem is implementation. Because I try to look at, okay, the current budget that we are currently working on, implementation is about 39%. And we are even though that parameter was for 9 months, if you look at the speech of the governor, implementation is 39%, which is not good enough. Because we are looking at 9 months. If you divide it into maybe 3, I think you should be having
have only 1 quarter left.
1 quarter left. That is, if you divide 100 by 4, you're going to have 25. That means by now, we should be having at least 75%. So, wonderful budget. I commend His Excellency for this kind of budget. Also, somebody could say this budget is too ambitious. Because another thing you are going to see is how do you get the fund to finance 650 billion. I looked at because part of what I looked at in that budget document is because this is the application, we have to look at the source. How will this money come? And just less than 40 billion is coming from IGR. That is about 39 point something billion. That is what is coming from IGR. Meaning that over 600 and something billion of the budget is not at your control. The source of it is not at your control. PAC, we know that it's not at our control. The grant are not at our control. Your controllable income itself is, if we look at percentage, 39% in, it's less than 10% because 10% is about 60. That's about 5% of the total of the budget that is coming from an IGR. So fantastic budget, wonderful budget. If implemented, that's why, maybe the budget is TAC development, you can see. There is no how you are going to implement 70-something% of that budget that people will not feel it all around. The impact, the feeling, is going to be felt. All these roads you talked about can be completed. The Mararaba Abon Road, the Takum Usa Road, the Bamanga Bali Road, so all those roads that are currently ongoing, can be completed. Chinkai, Bukari Road, all those things can be completed. And we could be able to do some re-roads within the state capital, particularly Jalingo. There are areas in Jalingo that require roads. Look at Deeper Life High School to Angwang Kasa
down to Area Command
Junction. Area Command Junction. Look at NNPC Junction, to the same. That road supposed to come from Deeper Life, and this one coming from NNPC and link each other. All of them will come out
to Abuja Phase 2.
Abuja Phase 2.
TSBS.
Yes, in front of TSBS and down to area command. And if you go to TC quarters, because we have a lot of federal institutions around there, from that junction of a total filling station, going straight, the one that moves straight to, is it a government college? Yes. Then the one that followed in front of WAEC, JAM, NAPTEP, there's this government ministry, is it resource, is it resource center that passed up to inside those Yamusala. That road that leads to Donga Bridge. Yes, it will come out at that Donga Bridge axis. This particular two roads within the legal center require urgent attention. You know, there are other ones, but critically for me, these are roads that, you know, if done, you know, it will mean a lot to people, because the interconnectivity and the way the town will look will be so serious. So what I'm saying invariably is that the budget is a wonderful budget. I commend His Excellency for such budget. But the source of the income of this budget, because we have a lot of approvals for loan. You know, I was one of those people that felt we have this 260 billion bond approval. Up to today, I've not seen the state going to the capital market to source this bond, because that will have been, will I call it, a better source of, because the bank loan may not be sustainable because the bank interest is so high. The bond is far cheaper and better way of sourcing income. We also have the issue of federal allocation. The federal allocation has been growing over the years, but also we know that a lot of it will go to recurrent expenditure and other. So what we need to think about, for me, the budgeted IGR is so low, we need to begin to think inward. We need to begin to exploit our potentials in agriculture, our potentials in mining, our potential in all this, so that we can be able to, even if it is not 100%, if we are able to implement close to 70 to 80% of this budget, it's going to be a wonderful, and there's going to be a lot of transformation in Taraba State.
Of course, we look forward to the budget being passed into law, and follow the implementation process of this budget, so that development will be for all across nooks and crannies of Taraba State.
Okay, let's look at other headline on Taraba newspaper for this morning. And on top of the headline, we have this issue of a special task force on illegal mining intensifies operation, seal processing plant in Gasol. Maybe if I could read part of the news, it said, in a decisive move to combat the score of illegal mining, the Long State Special Task Force on Illegal Activity has recorded a significant breakthrough in its ongoing operation, led by Steadfast Commander SP Jami Emmanuel. The task force conducted a successful intelligent drive raid in Gasol area, resulting in seizing a sophisticated mineral plant that has been illegal and operated.
Well, you just mentioned how we have to look inward as a state and boost our internally generated revenue. These are some of the details.
But for me, I commend the effort to stop illegal mining. But how do we harness it? It's not just about stop. How do we benefit from it? Nigeria, Taraba is rich in minerals, in resources.
Well, as time goes on, government fashioning out here and there that it will fine-tune procedures.
But for me, it's taking too long. The executive order binding illegal mining took place almost immediately His Excellency Governor Abu-Kefas came into power. And then the task force led by General Faransa was set up. The Faransa task force did a wonderful job, in stopping a lot of illegal mining across the country. So I am of the opinion or the feeling that with that now, thank God for what the SP Jami Committee task force is doing. We should now begin to look at coming up with a robust plan on how legal mining will be done in such a way that it will benefit the state.
Just like I said, I think we'll get there. The procedures have been put to practice and it has commenced. As time goes by, we should be able to get to that point where we will see in real terms the benefits of the resources that we have as a state as against the way it is being siphoned into the use of private adventurers who take advantage of the loopholes and the fact that attention has not been given to such sectors of Taraba.
Okay, let's look at another interesting headline on Taraba News of today. Governor Abu-Kefas received Staff Verification Committee report, order payment of cleared workers and re-engagement of others. We saw in that report, I think 1,115 people were cleared.
410?
Let me take a little of that particular report. Let me take a little of that report. I think it's in page 4 of the paper. It's in page 1,410. Revealed that out of the 7,000, let me just quote in between the paper. Haruna, that is presenting the report, the chairman of the committee, Alhaji Abdul Kadir Haruna, revealed that out of the 7,800 workers earlier flagged as ghost worker, only 1,410 were cleared and are now awaiting payment.
Okay, let's see how it goes now. And there is this part of that report that caught my attention where he said all those who are not captured in this directive to receive payment should be considered. A committee, he said, a second phase of the committee's work is to see how these people can be properly
engaged.
Yes, engaged. And that goes a long way to explain the empathy of the governor on the curbing the employment in Taraba State. That is going to go a long way in seeing to it that round pegs are put in round holes and repositioning the civil service in a way that it will be actually effective.
Okay, congratulations to the 1,410 and the remaining. Be hopeful. We pray that His Excellency will follow up on his promise to see how to engage those people legally. I think that is leadership. Tempering. They say, is it justice with mercy? I think the approach. I love the approach of trying to temper justice with mercy. So let's wait and see what happens. We expect that the 1,410 will begin to receive their salary, maybe from today. And very soon we will see what happens to the other people. Okay, let's look at some other headline. Governor Kefas renamed Taraba Crushing and Asphalt Plan after late Governor Dambaba Suntai.
Yes, Dambaba Suntai has been the former governor of Taraba State who died on seats. So naming such recognized agency of the government after him is welcome development. It goes a long way in immortalizing him and the good works he has done for Taraba State. Congratulations to the memory of Dambaba Suntai, if at all there's anything like that, congratulate the memory of somebody. And for his good family who donated him to Taraba State to serve. We actually appreciate his effort towards the development of Taraba State. And we actually thank Governor Abuja for thinking it wise to do that.
Okay, National Media Summit kick-off in Jalingo, Taraba State amidst call for media integrity, infrastructural development. That is another headline on the media summit that was ongoing. Okay, another interesting story here is coming from the brigadier of the 6th Brigade, Brigadier Commander Kingsley Wee. No hiding place for criminals in Taraba State. 6th Brigade Commander read riot act to criminals.
Yes, there should be no hiding place for criminals in Taraba. If you see the picture on the newspaper of Gerald Kingsley Wee, he's kitted like the outfit he's wearing there. He has been at the forefront of fighting.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love with him. He's not just a commander that just send armies to the troop and say, go and fight. We have seen at different fora and instances, occasion where he personally leads the troop. And if you read the inside the paper, he's particularly talking about the crisis within Takum. There's this town called Amadu. I have been to those areas, but I don't know the position of Amadu and Chachanji. You know, are they within the same axis?
Yes, at the same axis. I think if you're coming from Takum, Amadu, then you go to Chachanji. So it's almost the same community. They fall under the same political ward, under Takum local government. Because those communities have been notorious for so many criminalities. And for some years now, since the coming of Kingsley Wee as the brigade commander in Taraba State, with other interagencies efforts, we've seen so much of military activities there in curbing those kidnappings, those criminalities in that areas. You cannot travel from Takum to Kari without a military convoy. Somehow at the front or at the back. At the point, military will have to be moving, patrolling that roads
consistently.
But we've seen that the fight is being taken to their hotspots, those villages, those communities that have been hosting them, have been taking the fights to an attempt to disseminate them, and we've seen the result of that.
Okay, before we go, there was an analysis by Price Gap, why Yola outpaced Jalingo in affordability. A direct appeal to Governor Kefas to subsidize Taraba commercial environment. There is this narrative that most of the things we bought, we wish to use, they come from the southeast, southwest, and most of the time they pass through Jalingo to Yola, or they first arrive Jalingo. But you will see that those things seem to be cheaper in Yola than in Jalingo.
Well, I am not an expert in that, but I think the reason is that there is more market in Yola than in Taraba. I think so. Normally when you have more markets for a particular commodity, maybe the price seems to be cheaper since everybody would be able to buy, and there's considerations that you give markets where demand of that produce is actually high. I think so.
Okay, so let's see what happened. But sometimes, do you know that sometimes People will prefer to buy something from Yola and bring it to Jalingo and come and sell. They will still make profit. If you look at some of the analysis made by Lucky Bitrus in that write-up, it's clearly, he said, he gave a clear example that he said in Jalingo, let me give some example. He said, if you look at things like maybe clothes, he talk about building materials, like building material, blocks, pipe, and so forth. Yola enjoyed 25% price reduction compared to Jalingo. 1,000 loaves heads tank in Yola is 90,000. In Jalingo is 135,000. If you look at 2,000 liters, is 170 in Yola, is 215 in Jalingo. A sachet water, for example, that it is 15 naira in Yola. It is 2 sachets of pure water is 15 naira in Yola. In Taraba, 1 sachet of water is 50 naira. If you look at clothes, about 25% different. It's a Kampala. This is Accra, is 22,500 in Yola. It is 4,500 in Jalingo. Rent in Yola is cheaper. Industrial machine is about 35% cheaper in Yola. ML, industrial machine, he said it is 390,000 in Yola, while it is 470 in Jalingo.
Well, for rappers, and I used to...
That the only thing that is cheaper in Jalingo is food.
At least we have something that is cheaper. But I think for rappers that I have some insight on, there are depots for textiles. There are people who bring those clothes in depot business to Yola. And I think there are benefits.
Somebody talk about there is an international airport in Yola, but it's not a cargo airport, so that we said goods usually arrive there.
And considering proximity of Yola to Mubi, which is a business hub, international business hub, and other factors like that, well, I think what this report is trying to push is for development of Taraba State in such a way that some of these business activities will be able to do.
Okay, thank you, viewers. This is as much as we can take today. I want to appreciate the Director of News, Mr. Ira Daniel Ukwe. You always want me to put the Daniel. Thank you for being with us. I want to appreciate all those that make it possible for our viewers to watch us from home. The master control room was manned by Mr. Lazarus Meshach, and the floor manager is Mr. Shamaki Andeki. Thank you all for all you do to help us connect to our viewers. This is where we are going to round up today's morning show, and every 8 a.m. like this, we come up where we discuss tropical issues and things that are trending in Nigeria and across the globe. This is where we are going to round up today's edition. News at 10 a.m. will continue shortly. Thank you. See you tomorrow, and God bless you.
Fund my wallet sharp, send money go any bank, do all my transactions inside.
We launched Supergo yesterday in Yola. Now available in Taraba and Adamawa, and we're covering 36 states before 2026. Download Supergo today, Nigeria's first lifestyle app.
Supergo, move, buy, pay, live.